Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman. And if you can't tell, my getup hasn't changed. That means one thing. It's still Oscar time, baby. Today is the Oscars, as we all know. I've been ripping through the end of my Oscar movies to get out my reviews before the Oscars hit so we can talk about the Oscars. And we're down to my last one. This movie was a huge home run for me. So you know the deal. I know I got you on the edge of your seat. You want to know what movie is Corey going to talk about? I'll tell you. Pull up a chair. Take a seat. The Seaman is talking Lady Bird, baby. Oh, man. Great movie. Absolutely loved this movie. Lady Bird caught me off guard. I was expecting something I would enjoy, not something that I loved. And this movie would have been on my top 10 had I seen it prior to the end of the year. So, with that being said, we are going to try our very best to do a 5-minute non-spoiler review of Lady Bird. And as always, I like to start with the bad, end with the good. And the bad in this movie, again, very little. I mean, come on. It's the Oscar season. These movies tend to hit big, and they don't really miss too big. Sometimes they do. This one does not. There's some pacing issues. The movie moves very, very fast. And it's a pro and a con. I thought it worked wonderfully. I thought the pacing and the speed really moved the movie. It kept you engaged, and you're just hanging on all of the dialogue that's in the movie. But at the same time, because it moves so quick, when some of the emotional punches come, they don't quite land. They kind of graze you, because you're moving right on to the next thing. Maybe let that hang a beat longer, slow it down in those moments. We all know comedy can work with, some seriousness. And there's a couple big emotional blows in this movie that don't quite land because we're moving so quick. Same with a couple of the jokes. Some of the jokes don't quite land or hit in a weird way because you're in a very kind of strange situation. But overall, that's really all I had to complain about. I thought this was a very, very well written, well directed, well executed movie. So happy that Gretta Gerwig got nominated for an Oscar. She so deserved it. They mentioned at the Globes, no female directors. And Gretta Gerwig gave you a movie that was nominated for Best Picture. A movie that won for Best Comedy Musical Actor in a Female Lead. Gretta Gerwig does an awesome job with this movie. Writer and director. Tells the story of Lady Bird McPherson's end of senior year. And the other thing I loved about this movie, for me, it kind of reminded me of Superbad. Totally different kind of movie, right? This is a very indie film. Another thing that could be a negative. If you're not into indie films, you're probably not going to like this. Not a negative for me. I love indie films. Loved this indie film, to be more specific. But it's the story of, Lady Bird's end of her senior year of high school. And for me, Superbad is the thing I can kind of relate the most to when it comes to high school. This movie lands right smack dab in my junior year, 2003. So many callbacks, so much great nostalgia in the movie. Dave Matthews' Crash drops 2 or 3 times. And every time it hits, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so right back in high school. And that's the thing that this movie does. Very much like Superbad, it feels so high school. It lives and breathes high school. And this one's told from the female's perspective. Superbad told from the male perspective. A lot of people, can get with it on both sides. And this movie you can too, but being told from the female perspective, you get some different situations, you get some different discussions. And I think Greta Gerwig nails all of it. She totally captures what it's like being a high school student, in any part of the country, wherever it is. It doesn't just have to be where this one takes place, which I believe is in Sacramento, California is where it takes place, and how she wants to get out. So many people and so many college students and high school students feel that way. And all those feelings and all those things, Greta Gerwig just nails. Like I said, I liked the pacing. It kept you engaged because you're constantly moving. The dialogue in this movie is fantastic. Oh man, you don't want to miss anything in the movie because at least for me, I was one of the youngest people in the crowd. There's a lot of older people when I went to go see it. I laughed my ass off, start to finish, because I just got so much of what was going on. The nostalgia hit so well. Oh man, got to get through. We got about a minute and a half. Cyrus Ronan, amazing. I absolutely loved her as Lady Bird McPherson. She's so unique, and so, like I said, just hits all the points that you need to hit in a high school drama. and she just plays Lady Bird so well. She is my dark horse to win, the big one, to win Best Actor in a Female Lead, if it's not Frances McDormand. Or Sally Hawkins. Sally Hawkins is my real big front runner for me personally, but Saoirse Ronan right there, she did an excellent job. Laurie Metcalf, also a dark horse, brilliant as her mother, makes you laugh. The dark comedy that she kind of unfolds really, really works. Everybody in this movie, Tracy Letts, Lucas Hedges, Timothy Chalamet. I didn't get to see it, but there's another big guy in multiple movies. Everyone in this movie, though, Beanie Feldstein, who plays Julie Steffens, Lady Bird's best friend, brilliant. Oh my God, makes you laugh out loud. I can't say enough good things about this movie. It is funny, it grips, it tells a good high school story, and it hits you when it's supposed to, but sometimes not quite as hard as it could. Boom, there it is, 5 minutes. We ripped through another one. I hope you guys are liking these 5-minute reviews, because I am liking them, because I just rip right through them. Absolutely love Lady Bird, and Lady Bird is my big dark horse for Best Picture of the Year. As soon as I saw this movie, oh man, it would have been top 3. For me, it would have been Logan, Shape of Water. It probably would have been Lady Bird. I just thought it was brilliant. It's been a long time since I've laughed that hard in a theater. I really enjoyed every minute of the movie. It's so relatable. And I think a lot of female, college students, and a lot of females my age will watch this movie, and a lot of females that are just living now will watch this movie and really be able to identify with it, and that's really cool because we need those. Because so many of these high school movies are told from the male perspective. It's cool and refreshing to get the female perspective. Greta Gerwig does a great job with it. Absolutely love this film. I think it's a film that anybody can really kind of, understand. So for the C-Man Cinema Sit Down, I am the C-Man, and I am signing off. Peace!